Hey guys, this week on Basics we're taking a look at bagels, something which I am confused and frightened by. Luckily I've got a veritable bagel expert and expert on all things food, Dan Souza, here to help me out. So Dan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Appreciate it. I'm a huge fan of your work. I'm standing on my tippy toes right now because you're taller than I thought.
Do you want me to slouch down like this?
Could you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good quad workout.
It's my kitchen. I have to express dominance. So if you could. So Dan has the most amazing show called What's Eating Dan. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Dan, what do you got going on over there?
So we basically look at some of my favorite foods and we break them down from a perspective of science and then build them back up. So they're like short, informative, just kind of get you in the kitchen and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, and I've stolen so many recipes from you guys.
That's why we're happy to give them to you.
That's permission, legally.
Yeah, that's legal permission on camera.
Today we're making bagels, something I've been scared of making for a long time.
It can be a little intimidating. Well, we're in the right place. We're in New York, where everyone says the best bagels come from, right? So we should be able to make a really good batch.
Now, does that make a difference? Like the water, I've heard that like, the pH balance of the water. Does that make a difference?
So we actually tested that back at Cooks Illustrated. We can check it out in the video that I did on bagels, where we have water that you sent to me from New York, and then we have Boston water, and we do it side by side to check out if it actually matters.
All right, so we're gonna make some bagels.
Let's do it.
And I get to stop standing on my tippy toes because you're a tall person.
And I'll stop doing this.
Oh, thank you. So we got 14 2/3 ounces of bread flour, 2 teaspoons of vital wheat gluten here.
Yeah, 4 teaspoons of vital wheat gluten.
4 teaspoons of vital wheat gluten here.
Cool. So this is basically pure gluten that's dehydrated. You can add it to really any bread that you want, higher rise or a little bit more chew to. This stuff, you have King Arthur bread here, that's probably about 13%, so this is gonna give that extra boost.
You said this is pure gluten.
Pure gluten, yep.
So it's like it's not very welcome here in New York City.
Yeah, no, that could kill half the population of New York City.
Oh God, be
that
careful.
4 teaspoon right there.
Don't drop that. Are we adding yeast at this point, or?
Yeah, oh yeah, sorry, yep. And we've got our yeast, which is about 2 teaspoons of yeast here.
I only reminded him because I just made this yesterday, so it's fresh in my mind.
All right, so we're just gonna pulse this together. Okay, so now we're gonna do our liquid ingredients.
9 ounces.
9 ounces. All right, let's do your skim. That's perfect.
I'm gonna pour this right up to the 9 ounce mark.
Foil bagels traditionally use something called malt syrup.
We got tiny whisk here.
Tiny whisk here, yeah.
Making an appearance. This stuff is just beyond molasses.
It is. It's got a really molassesy flavor to it. All right, and I'm gonna stop it right there. We're gonna let this sit before we add the salt, and the process is called an autolyse.
Okay, so we've let this rest for 10 minutes.
Yep. So we've got gluten development going on, even though we can't see it. So now we're going to add in our salt. All right, and so we're gonna let this rip. About 90 seconds should be enough to do it. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. We're just gonna need this for about a minute here. The machine did most of the work for us, but this is gonna help us kind of smooth it out.
Okay.
All right, so now we're gonna divide it. So I'm just gonna divide in half.
We're gonna weigh this out and see just how accurate it is.
Oh, good. You would do a little.
3.5 ounces.
3.5 ounces. Yeah. Let's see.
3 1/4.
3 1/4. Okay.
And this is horrendously inaccurate, so you very well could be 3.5. To make the balls, we're using the tackiness of the dough, making a sort of cage around it, and just using its semi-sticking to the table, not really putting any pressure down on it, right?
That's right.
And look at that.
That's beautiful.
And now we need to cover these, right?
Yes. So we're gonna let these sit for 15 minutes.
Okay. We've let this go for 15 minutes. What did that do?
So that basically allowed the gluten to relax a little bit, so it's gonna be a lot easier to stretch and work with.
So yeah, you guys recommend rolling the bagels, which is the traditional New York way to do it.
Exactly. So just pressing it down first.
So even though the gluten's relaxed, it's still a very springy dough. It
Definitely.
looks like you have to rely on the stickiness, let it like sort of grip onto the countertop to really get it out to the size.
We also want it, in this case, to be able to stick back to itself. So if we start covering this in with flour,
Yeah.
it's gonna be really hard for this next step. So we're looking for roughly 5 inches.
Okay.
I'm just gonna fold this over and pull it back. And as I do it, I'm stretching it underneath.
Okay.
I'm bringing it over. I want this to be a nice tight little roll.
And what length are we looking for here?
About 8 to 9 inches.
Okay.
We're gonna add a twist to our dough. So the way I like to do it is I start my hands kind of like this and this, and then pull them together.
Yeah, because whenever you see those New York bagels, they always have a twist to them.
Yeah, and that's where it comes from. And then so I keep my hand like this, pull this guy around, and then join these back up over here.
You're so much better at demonstrating things than I am. I'm watching on the monitor. You can so clearly see what you were doing. All right, so then you're just kind of pinching it together.
Pinch it together right there, and then you're gonna use your hand like this.
Okay, we're putting this on a sheet pan with lined with cornmeal.
So we also want to do a punch one.
Exactly.
So just do a little. So this is much easier for sure.
Yeah. But, so you're saying this is going to make it's not going to be as good texture-wise in the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna puff a little bit more, which in a normal bread is a great thing, and a bagel is not our favorite thing.
And then this guy's sitting for an hour at room temperature.
So we're gonna let them sit at room temperature for an hour. That's gonna give it a little jump start to the fermentation, but then we're gonna go into the fridge overnight.
Okay.
And so that slow cold fermentation is just something we absolutely love in breads.
All right, so we're back. It's been an hour, and these guys are ready to go in the fridge.
Let's do it.
Together, as one.
Awesome, and you can see because we had them in the fridge, they didn't get a lot bigger, but
Yeah.
they expand a little bit. But if you had done that on the counter, they'd be these massive things.
Yeah.
So the next step is the weirdest part about bagel making is we're gonna boil them before we bake them. So we're gonna add our sugar and our soda.
That's gonna make it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna do these 4 at a time. We're gonna do 20 seconds on each side, flip them over halfway through.
How much are these going to puff up?
They're gonna puff a little bit. Okay, so that's been about 20 seconds. Now we're just gonna flip them.
Okay.
So lift one side.
Oh yeah, look at that color.
And that's that cornmeal side. Okay, so that's been 20 seconds per side.
Yep.
So we're gonna pull them out onto our wire rack here. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go cornmeal side down.
So we have our traditional rolled bagels over here.
Yep.
And then we have the just punched bagels here, and you can see a huge difference in the texture. We're pouring a half cup of boiling water in the bottom of this, and this is gonna give some steam
Exactly.
to help these guys spring a little bit.
All right, great. So these are gonna go in the oven.
Cool. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm so full, but
Yeah.
damn if it isn't good. All right, so we made a whole bunch of bagels here, and we discovered that rolling the bagels the traditional way is going to give us a much chewier texture, just a better bagel.
A better bagel.
But they were all very good.
They're all good. I really do feel like the best bagel is the one that you make.
Bold words.
But true.
So now we need to find out if New York tap water actually makes a difference in the creation of bagels. So for that, we're going to kick it over to your show, What's Eating Dan.
That's right. And Andrew was nice enough to send New York water to me. We'll do a bunch of tests with the water themselves and then make bagels side by side. So you got to tune in to find out if it matters.
I'd imagine FedEx was pretty confused about that.
Yeah, they thought it was dangerous.
It was dangerous.